on Freedom 97.1, 1120 AM WSME.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to ride.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to this Friday edition, which every edition is a Friday edition of Sports Talk with Chris Raynor. I'm Chris Raynor. Co-host Ashley Moseley.
Good to be back, buddy.
The big winner today, Jerry Allen. The big winner, Jerry Allen.
Jerry.
We'll get to more about that later. We don't want to give it away. We already have, but we'll give it away. And Brian North. Thank you, Brian, for being with us today. Well, Brian's not here yet. He's on the way. He works mornings now, so he's on the way. It won't be long. While we're waiting on Brian, though, we'll go ahead and do all our diagnostic stuff here. Sports Talk is powered by Barnes Diamond Gallery, National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Wismart, Chappie's Chicken, and Great Gas and Oil. Give them a little special love today for the occasion. Bayshore Animal Hospital, Golden Corral, the law offices of John Drew Warlick, Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, Lane Associates Family Dentistry, Humphrey Heating and Air, Jones Onzo EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, and Southern Touch Painting. And thanks to Helen's Kitchen for those delicious Billy Bowls that are on the way. Right now, Billy Grissom is headed this way with just a big box full of deliciousness. You've had them before, hadn't you, Ashley?
Yep.
Have you had a Billy Bowl yet?
Yes.
Jerry? Good stuff. I know, of course, Hollywood eats about 7 a day when we have them. So he's had them. Then, of course, we got our Hurricane Watch coming up, sponsored by Downey's Heating and Air. The Canes will play tonight. We'll get to more about that when we get to the Canes report. You can find on-demand Sports Talk podcasts at WSME971.com. And we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Everyone wave to the live world today. Our technology is great, isn't it?
It is.
And if you've not done so, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can watch us live this morning and check out archive shows at YouTube at WSME Radio. And follow us on Facebook and watch live at freedom971.com. And the WSAME studio line is 910-346-2248. We'll have a trivia question. I'm going to get it out here early today. Matter of fact, let's do it right now.
Go ahead, buddy.
Trivia question out there. People can be calling while we're waiting on Brian to come in. Of course, he works the morning show. Brian's had some kids now. He used to be the late night guy, but man, when you have kids, it changes your world on it.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, that late night stuff becomes you need to be the morning guy. So, Jerry, he's on the way. He's going to present Jerry with his trophy today for winning for being the best picker of the year. Congratulations. Go ahead and put that out there. Congratulations. And we'll get to more of that. We'll do all the readings and the doctrines and the certificates and all that stuff.
He went from worst to first.
He weren't worst.
Last year
he was close to the top
last.
last year.
No, he did last.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Do you remember that? I don't remember you being dead last.
I was real low because I wasn't supposed to win. Ashley told me to start off with.
He's crazy.
And I was the one that created it. And he said, Jerry, since you created it, you're not able to win.
So you sandbagged.
I said forever. He said, no, just
the
begin.
First year. Okay.
So then I leaped over from
I was proud to be the first, the winner of the first
and
annual.
I'll continue to be up front.
I was proud to be the winner of the first annual, your second annual, and you're saying basically from here on out, you're going to rule the contest.
Guaranteed.
We will see about that next year, buddy.
We got to give a prop. We got the trophy from Need It Now, Trophies and Plaques over on Gum Branch Road. Thank you very much. If you want some entertainment, go see Meredith and Emily and just get Emily to talk. She's from East Tennessee, and you talking about a Southern accent.
East Tennessee? I'm going
I'm
there.
telling you, man.
I think what I'm going to do is some of the winnings from our first year, I'm going to make my own trophy.
Well, they custom built that. They gave out.
Right.
So anyway,
they can do it just like that.
Thank you, Meredith and Emily, for putting this trophy together for the number one prognosticator, Jerry Allen.
The number one picker. Picker of the year.
Picker of the year.
Ding, 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 ding.
And we got a wait list to get involved in it next year.
And I'm going to throw it right out there. Tim Foster, if you're listening, if you keep getting them picks in late, you're going to rotate off. So get them in on time next year. We'll keep it at the same, what was it, 12 this year, I think?
I don't know.
It was like 12. I have 2 separate lists we send out because some of them are the night people, some are the day people. I don't want the day people, the night people sending in their picks at 11 at night while the day people are trying to sleep. So I got all that worked out. So we'll do that for next year.
Okay.
Let's get this trivia question out there so people can be marinating on it. Studio hotline, get it in your phone, 910-346-2248. 910-346-2248. You might have to think about this one. Some will know it immediately. so I might have to hit the old internet. In 1974, what school beat UCLA 71-70 in a certain town somewhere? Because that will give it away. That'll be our hint if we have to end the Bruins' NCAA record 88-game win streak. So the Bruins had won 88 games in a row, which back then was about almost 4 seasons. They didn't play 35 games like they do nowadays. 88 games in a row. It probably started with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Bill Walton was all in it. But what team beat them in 1974 to end that 88-game streak?
Well, who was the coach of UCLA back then? That'd be a good
The Wizard of Westwood, baby. Okay. They still have a radio network called Westwood One, and that's why they call it that, from the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden. Still getting them props. You remember John Wooden, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, he was the man. But then again, things were a little different back then. Everybody went to UCLA. It was anybody. It weren't like the recruiting stuff they have now. That was quick. It's not. If it's my dad will tell him he can't. And or if it's a robocaller, we'll give him a shot at it. Good morning, caller. Goodbye, caller. Call back, caller. If you have the answer to, in 1974, what team beat UCLA 71-70 in a certain town in the Midwest to end the Bruins' NCAA record 88-game win streak?
Well, we got to give credit where credit is due, and I'm going to give a little bit of history on the Sports Talk program. Jerry asked me a while back, about 7 years ago, said that Phil Padgett was interested in doing a radio show talking about sports. So Jerry's one reason that we're here. He helped get it started, and we certainly appreciate it, buddy.
Dun, 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 dun. Welcome.
Hello.
Brian
Playing hurt today, but I got the voice that I can't.
What'd you do? Pull a giblet or something?
Been around my kids too much.
Really?
Being too good of a parent.
Sure? You just fall off the bed waking up this morning?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was blaming on. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
The quintessential sportscaster of the year in everyone's mind in Eastern North Carolina.
They better get better educated then.
Number one sportscaster as what is the American Society of Sportscasters, ASS? You're number one with them, right?
Yes. That's about the right group, yes.
I always says you forgot more sports than I've ever known. So you you've been around it for years. You're the dude in the area, and we appreciate you. So since you're here, without further ado, which when you say that, I always say it, and that is further ado when you say without further ado.
Yeah.
We are going to anoint Jerry Allen as the second annual Pigskin Picker winner. I don't know.
How the hell did that happen?
He didn't pick Southwest the first.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So, Jerry Allen, congratulations. Brian North's going to present you the trophy.
Oh, yeah.
Ashley told me to get the number one celebrity in Eastern North Carolina.
Yeah.
And Sandra Bullock was not available. She didn't answer her phone, so you're there.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, it's not very heavy. You can't even use that as a paperweight. What do you do with that?
We just look at it, take pictures.
There you go.
How this came about, as you well know, Brian, there's a lot of work behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
Raynor started this, and he keeps up with it every week. And the guys that are participating in it, all of them have athletic backgrounds.
Yep.
But they're not competing anymore because of age or whatever, but they are serious about these high school picks each week. I mean, they call in all the time just like you do, and it's a lot of work involved in it. And Jerry helped get the Sports Talk show started.
Yeah.
So it's only appropriate, I guess, that he wins the first trophy, and he's real serious about this, as all of them are.
Yeah.
So,
what was the margin of victory?
1 point.
1 point.
The last week I was down 4. I went all west I was hoping everybody would go all east. He picked Mount Airy, and that was the difference. And Harry was also tied for second, Harry Brown.
But I picked Dixon 6 or 7 times out of 11 games just to try to help them out a little bit.
We appreciate it. I
I'm
did the
talking
same
about
with
Dixon.
Southwest.
I feel like Dixon can do some good things.
I will never pick against the Stallions. So next year when they go 11-0, you guys watch out. It's going to be on like Donkey Kong.
If they'll go 11-0, I'll give you $11.
Wow, big spender, baby. I'd rather take some Chappie's chicken.
I'll give you 11 boxes of it.
Have you had Chappie's chicken yet?
No.
Anytime you're headed out of town, Gum Ranch Road, go that way instead of cutting through. No, wait, but you wouldn't go that way.
they got one in Hubert.
Yeah.
Right.
You're around Hubert or Gum Ranch area, just Google Chappie's Chicken.
Chappie's
Great
chicken.
Chappie's chicken.
I
Show
have,
me your mug there with the He's got Chappie's Chicken mugs.
I'm never opposed to going out of the way to get some food.
It's good stuff, man. And I saw the other day you stopped at Ma's and did a little write up on them.
Yeah, I've been by there a million times. I never stopped in, and I decided
you never stopped at Ma's.
I had never stopped at Ma's.
Wow,
because I'm always in a hurry. But now that I do news, I don't have to be in a hurry as much anymore. Right? I'm only doing sports part of the time. So
good place. Did you stop for breakfast or lunch?
I did lunch.
Breakfast lunch good too.
Ma's,
going into Kinston on the right,
Highway 258.
Yeah. Oh, okay, I got you.
They got breakfast in the morning too. Yep. Good stuff.
I've heard great breakfast. And then some lady said, "You don't want to know what's in the grease." I said, "If I knew it was in the grease, I'd probably eat even more of it." So, dirty rags, cockroaches, something that makes the food taste good.
That's what my mom always says. She'll say it was made with special ingredients. So I go, love, lard. That makes French fries the best in the world, baby.
Yeah.
You and I had toyed with an idea before you went to mornings.
Yeah.
Of doing a show called Friday Night Eats.
Yeah.
And basically picking every town that, people go to and getting one of these places like Ma's or Sandpiper, somewhere that, is not a franchise restaurant.
Right.
And it would have been a great thing to do, but just when you go in the mornings and stuff.
Yeah. And it's, so many great places. Food trucks are now the thing taking over now.
Well, I have a feeling after we did it a couple times, we'd be getting calls from people saying, okay, here's what we'll do for you to our restaurant.
But I'll tell you, food trucks, now, you want to get your Southwest Onslow Stallions going. Find somebody with a food truck to camp out there every Friday.
We do, but that takes away from the concession stand.
You work that financial deal out where you get some of their
True. We need to get a good percentage. We'll work on that because there are a lot of good food trucks out there. And, man, they're everywhere nowadays. Yeah. One thing, before we leave the picking contest, we'd be remiss if we didn't give one final shout-out to Jerry. Ready? All hail the king of the pickers.
That's right.
All hail.
Yes.
All right. What you want to talk about, Brian? You want to talk about
Dave Dunaway?
You want to talk about DJ Horn?
Yeah, we can talk. Yeah, Dave Dunaway. It's Dave Dunaway's. Well, first of all, it's Dave Dunaway's birthday. Today is Dave Dunaway's birthday.
That'd have been a good trivia question.
Time to recognize one of the all-time great Jacksonville high school athletes.
He was a
punter, wasn't he?
Well, that's the only place he played in the NFL was punter, but he was a great track athlete. Right. He won 3 state championships, 100, 220 hurdles, and something else. It was really a weird mixing. 1964, I think, is when he won the 3.
And he passed away sort of young.
Yes, he did. So then he goes to Duke, has a Hall of Fame career as a receiver, set all the records that were just broken a couple years ago. It wasn't that long ago. Then he goes to the NFL, taxi squad, a bunch of places, never got in until the Giants, like 4 years later, they let him punt in 3 games. He had 1 carry on a fake punt, but died at 56 years old. 2001 is when he died. I don't know what he died from.
Next year. That hurts.
But one of the all-time great athletes from Jacksonville. I started getting into the morning show. We're doing these birthday shout-outs. And so I'm looking for famous Eastern North Carolinians. And so I've gone down some rabbit holes, and I'm learning a lot about a lot of great guys. And Dave Dunaway's a guy I did not know about, but I've learned a lot about recently. Dolly Parton's birthday today, too, by the way, if you cared. Yeah.
What'd you think about that outfit she wore at the playoff game, or no, the Thanksgiving game?
She is ageless, right?
Yes.
She looks the same for the last 50 years.
Mm-hmm. Of course, the running joke was that she was the last remaining cheerleader from the squad that
won the Super Bowl.
So
that's about right.
Yeah, about like all the other Cowboy jokes. They have been everywhere this past week. Bless the Cowboys fans because they put up with a lot of grief when they lose.
Well, it's well deserved. They like to crow a lot when they win, and they like to set themselves up.
And the one with the cycle where it talks about the different parts of the year is dead on too.
Yeah,
they're dim boys, and then they don't want to talk about it. And so what you think? Actually, that was quick. The Hurricanes have just scored their first goal. That's awesome, even before the game starts tonight. So we're going to take our first break. We'll be right back on Sports Talk with Brian North, Jerry Allen, and Ashley
Hi, this is Rick Dees, and don't forget the weekly Top 40 happening here this weekend. We're going to challenge your brain with the weekly Top 40 challenge. You get it right, we've got a compact disc system for you to win, plus a library of CDs and 2 crisp $100 bills. Dan Aykroyd's going to invade the show this weekend, and he is always weird. Plus, of course, the greatest music in the world. It's the weekly Top 40. This is Rick Dees. I'll see you here.
The weekly Top 40 80s edition, Sunday night, 6 to 10 on Freedom 97.1 WSME. The holidays are over, the parties are done, but bodacious savings have just begun at National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. During the Start Something New sales event, get huge discounts on new Jeeps, Ram trucks, and the performance of Dodge. Find yours at nationaldodge.com.
Visit National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Highway 17 in Jacksonville.
It's a national thing. Go National!
Wismart and Chappie's Chicken. And for over 50 years, Great Gas and Oil Company has kept our community comfortable year-round with quality heating and cooling products and dependable service. In addition to heating and air conditioning service, Great Gas and Oil Company does generators, tankless water heaters, and quality appliance repair. For service, phone 910-347-7138. Locally owned and operated by Jerry and Jeff Allen and Bobby and Louise Williams.
Bayshore Animal Hospital, 615 College Street, Jacksonville, may be Onslow County's most complete veterinary clinic, offering small animal and equine medicine. Dr. Timothy Pearson is an equine practitioner. In addition to equine medical and dental services, Bayshore Animal Hospital continues to give compassionate care for all your other furry four-legged family members using the latest in computerized technology. Sea dogs, devil dogs, cool cats, and horses welcome. Bayshore Animal Hospital, Onslow County's complete veterinary clinic, 615 College Street, Jacksonville. Phone 910-939-5298. Doctors Gina Francis and Timothy Pearson.
Pro Image Promotional Solutions in Jacksonville. A one-stop for your custom tees, sweats, hooded sweats, caps, and outerwear. Pro Image will design uniquely for you. Pro Image will do screen prints, digitize, and embroider right on site at their location in Jacksonville at 51 Plaza Drive B, just behind the Pizza Hut on Gum Branch Road. Pro Image Promotional Solutions, specializing in helping schools, businesses, church groups, civic organizations, and recreation sports teams with uniforms and their team gear. See Mark Houston for ideas on how to make your personal business wear look professional and appealing. For more information, visit proimagenc.com. That's proimagenc.com or call 910-347-0004. Again, that's 910-347-0004. Pro Image Promotional Solutions, just behind the Pizza Hut on Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville.
The best deal for the grill is at Jones LP Gas and Oil Company each Friday. Every Friday from 8 a.m. till closing at 5, Jones LP Gas and Oil Company will fill your 20-pound LP gas grill cylinder for only $11. You heard that right. Each Friday till closing, you can have your 20-pound LP gas cylinder filled for only $11 at Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 Wilmington Highway in heart of Verona. In addition to saving money on your LP gas for the grill, Jones Gas and Oil is your full-service gas and oil company serving residential, commercial, and agricultural gas and oil needs, as well as gas appliances, LP replacement, parts, fill cylinders, and tankless water heaters, and they offer a 10% military discount on installation. Remember to get that cylinder filled every Friday until closing for only $11. Jones Gas and Oil Company, 3881 the Old Wilmington Highway, Verona. Phone 910-346-6384.
It's Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Raynor, co-host Ashley Moseley, picker of the year, Jerry Allen, and honored guest, Brian North. We got a table full today. I think I could just sit back and y'all could just talk sports, and I could take this one off. But
it's a real treat to have you, Brian. Thank you for coming in, buddy.
I was voted nose picker of the year recently. So.
Well, that's why we call him picker of the year, too. Yeah. Prognosticator of the year, Jerry Allen. Good job, Jerry, winning that. You studied hard, made it pay off, baby. That knowledge up there in that noggin paid off.
What was your secret, Jerry?
Not to pick Southwest of all 10 games. I love my Stallions, but they got to do be better next year.
I don't think there was a secret.
Just went with the flow.
Yeah.
These guys are serious about it, though. I mean, everybody, we enjoy doing it.
He knows his county teams really well. It's like when you did the used to do the thing before the jamboree we used to have.
Yeah.
That one day I was sitting there watching, and I saw you talking to these coaches and bringing up things. And no notes at all. Just, you just know it from doing it for years. Yeah. Billy Grissett, welcome.
Biscuit Ninja. Hey, Billy.
Bellin's
Happy
Kitchen
New Year,
is in
buddy.
the house. Kitchen always brings those delicious Billy Bowls, they're called. They got sausage, egg, cheese, and grits in them. That's a lethal combination. I want to talk a little bit about Osprey baseball, Jacksonville Ospreys. You guys going to be covering those games, things like that?
Yeah, we try to. The summer league baseball is very interesting. And you're really starting to see with the reduction of minor league baseball teams that college baseball summer league teams are really expanding, right? So kids are staying in school longer. There's more opportunities. And so more towns are trying to capitalize on the collegiate summer league baseball. We've seen Morehead City's done a nice job with it. Wilson for many years. So now you're seeing Greenville get a team. Lenore County got a team last year. And so now Jacksonville is getting a team. It looks like they're doing it right. They're building it the right way and promoting it the right way.
And speaking of which, is that our the Ospreys owner? No. Ellie Patino, he's calling in to be on the show. So he's going to call in and talk a little Ospreys baseball with us. I know it's a long time till it happens, but summer will be here before you know it.
They use wooden bats. They don't use aluminum.
Wooden bat league,
They can do whatever the league wants them to do.
Okay.
Are they part of the Old North State League?
I understand it's be wood bats.
That should be a wood bat league. The Coastal Plain League is wood bat. I covered the Valley League for many years.
The Valley League, that's a great one up there.
Yeah, they're the
Cape Cod League. That's
Cod
another
League,
one.
The Valley League was always considered the second best collegiate summer league, but now, gosh, there's so many of them out there.
Well, I remember them boys at UNCW always talking about wanting to play in the Valley League.
Yep.
That was one of the big ones.
And the Wood Ducks will be back next year too, won't they?
One more year at least.
At least this year. They have finally broken ground in Spartanburg on a baseball stadium. So more than likely this will be the last season unless there's some sort of
if Spartanburg moves like Rock Hill did, then it's possible to get another season.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
That is a possibility.
All right, we got the owner of the Jacksonville Ospreys on the line, Ellie Patino. Ellie, you got any questions for Brian North? Brian North, you got any questions for Ellie? Let's talk a little summer league baseball.
Hey, Devin.
Yep.
How are you doing today? Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
Thanks for listening in. What's the word on the street? How are things progressing with the Ospreys and getting the stadium ready or getting the field ready, all that good stuff?
It's to get ready for 2.5 months of baseball, it's 9.5 months of full-time work. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I actually got a meeting here at 9:30 here at the field, and the city has broken ground at Jack MEF to start making some augments to the field. And I was watching you guys online. I noticed something's missing there. I need to get your guests there some Osprey baseball caps.
Oh yeah, they're all about it, man. I'll get with you and go down there one day at Emerald Isle at your shop down there and pick them all up one for next time. How about that? You see me proudly wearing the one you gave me, and I appreciate it.
I see that. Awesome.
I like the logo and everything. It's such a cool name because you're paying homage, obviously, to the coastal bird and then to those things that fly over like 27 times a minute, which we love. I mean, we love our military and the sound of freedom. And living here all our lives, you can tell when it's a CH-53 or a Cobra or an Osprey, obviously. So we're paying homage to those, and we appreciate you guys bringing baseball here to Jacksonville finally.
No, we're just grateful that the city is working with us. We're grateful for the community and the open arms that we've gotten so far. It's really, really been a wonderful feeling.
I'm looking forward to doing a little helping with you guys and getting things started, and we'll work out all those details later and have a good time with it.
Yeah, awesome. We look forward to working with you, Chris, and everyone else. That is awesome.
All right, thanks for calling in, and we'll see you in June, baby.
Wait, I got questions.
Oh, Brian's got questions.
I got questions.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, so 2 big questions that baseball fans always want to know. Will you have lights for night games, and will you have beer to sell?
Yes, we will have lights. The lights are there. The lights work. They've been tested. That is good. The beer is a great question. So the beer, we're actually currently doing our darnest to try to get that going. Now, in order to have beer concessions, if you will, at a baseball venue, whether it's a park, whether it's anything else that doesn't have a brick and mortar concession stand, there are some partnerships with either a nonprofit or something of that nature that has to take place. That is the top of our priority list. We've been pounding that drum really hard, and we hope that is the case. I cannot say definitively we will have beer at the game.
It's always a fight, no matter what stadium it is in America. It's always a fight to get that first beer poured.
When does the season start?
Usually,
so our first home game is June 1st. Yeah. That's our season opener here at Jack MEF.
Yeah.
And I actually have a brilliant idea on the beer front. I got a pickup truck. We'll fill the back with beer and ice. I'll just park in that newer shopping center back there, and they can buy it as they come in.
That could work. Yeah, we could run a Chris Raynor home run deck out there or something.
I'll give a nominal cut to the team too, maybe.
and you're good with neighborhoods around there? No problems with noise ordinances into the night? Any problems like that? Morehead City Marlins had that issue when they first opened up at Big Rock Stadium.
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So we've been meeting with the fire department. They've given us all the exact things we need to do. They've been excellent help. Now, the police department, we've already met with the chief of police, and he said that everything is a go. Noise permits, all that fun stuff is already taken care of. So as far as that noise and neighborhood front, everything's good. We've got started on that way at the outset.
Good.
So.
All right. We got 2 minutes to spare till your meeting, so you're good. All right. Nice work.
And it shows that there is a huge demand for it. The fact that over the summer, on a rainy, cold night in July or August, whenever it was, that you had 1,500 people turn out with lawn chairs to sit in the mud to watch that game.
Yeah. We didn't know if we would get 200 people or 2,000. We had no idea. And the league CEO was on hand for that game. They busted in 2 teams, do a free game. And, I just recently did a Rotary presentation of the 25 members that were in that room. I said, hey, who here knew about the exhibition game? 2 hands raised their hand. Everyone else. So that just tells you we had 1,500 people at an exhibition game in the middle of summer with only a week to prepare, and yet people didn't really even know about it yet. So I think there's a great demand for it.
Well, tell those Rotary guys to start listening to WSME, and they'd heard about it.
Will do.
All right. Get to your meeting, and we appreciate you calling in. Ellie, have a good one.
Take care, gentlemen. Have a good weekend. Bye. Thank you.
So that'll be a nice thing over the summers when you have that little dead period when you're waiting for high school football. And
I've been saying this for years because most other communities have something in the summer for entertainment sports-wise, except for Jacksonville, Onslow County. I mean, you've got the racetracks, but you don't have that kind of every night, what do Marines who have a few dollars in their pocket need some kind of entertainment? What do they want to do? Even families. So I'm glad Jacksonville's finally getting on board. We've seen – Morehead City's had the Marlins. Of course, Kinston's had minor league baseball for many years. Wilson. Greenville's another area that I thought, and they're going to be getting a team too. So, but that summer league baseball it's a good, affordable option for people. So I'm glad Jacksonville's finally getting on that train.
And for years, Jacksonville people supported Kinston.
Yeah,
a lot of the sport came from
We'd see Marines, right? We'd see Marines travel up there all the time. They just wanted something to do and a fun atmosphere to be a part of. Or you could go down to Wilmington, and they had their Coastal Plain League baseball team, but you had to travel to do it. So now it's good that Onslow County will have that option. Now it'll be up to them to support it. It'll be up to the Ospreys to do good promotions to get people out there who are unaware, to create that family atmosphere, because with minor league baseball and collegiate summer league baseball, it's great to go watch these guys, but ultimately it's about the fan experience of having fun.
Jerry played college baseball.
Where'd you play, Jerry?
Mount Olive.
The mighty Trojans.
I was actually Carl Lancaster's first signee.
Really? No.
He was at Eastern Wayne.
And it was only up for Jerry, or for Carl, yeah.
Eastern Wayne, they won the state championship that year.
Yeah.
Jacksonville, there was a guy local, Keith Jarman, pitched that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He pitched real well. I hit 2 home runs. And then next year he was at Mount Olive, my senior year of high school.
Now, Keith ended up going to UNCW. Yeah, because when I was down there as a work assistant with Coach Guthrie and then Coach Scaff, Keith was one of the star pitchers down there. Yeah. He could bring it now.
Yeah, Keith and me got recruited by about the same school.
Same times.
But his offer was a little bit better than mine. He was immediate play, and I was bullpen.
Have we got another caller? This might be a record. 1 hang up and 2 callers. Wait a minute. Pending hang up. What we got, Hollywood? Is it a trivia question or another?
Just give me a second.
I'm sorry.
Well, let me ask Jerry. Did you ever go to the Pickle Festival then when you were at Mount Olive?
Yes.
Ah.
Jerry, get on the mic a little bit, buddy, so we can hear you.
Pickle Festival. I had the what do you call it? The Pickle Classic, where they had the teams come in. I actually got to watch, which was when I was there. The guy from Hopton went to Wake Forest, named what was his name? But the other one was the Oliver guy that was at Southern Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Virginia.
Yeah.
They played together against each other in the Pickle Classic at Mount Olive. I got to watch them.
Carl built one heck of a program at Mount Olive, boy.
I think it was 16 freshmen came with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just rebuilt from level 0.
Yeah.
And done good. And continued to do good.
All right, Chris.
Facility down there.
Oh, yeah. They had that new indoor facility I just saw. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. So we got our caller ready now?
Yeah, all this time, and somebody just called in for the trivia question.
Good morning, caller. Welcome to Sports Talk.
Good morning.
Do you know who first of all, who we got there?
This is Skid Row, Mr. Chris Raynor.
Skid Row. That's the rock band from the late night. No, you're talking about Scott Rowe.
Yes, Mr. Richlands Wildcat.
One of our best hubs of listeners is the Onslow County Sheriff's Department. Scott retired from Onslow County Sheriff's Department, still listens. Them boys listen religiously because out there working in that car.
Yeah.
Got a little radio on. There's nothing wrong with that. So Scott, thank you.
And they're probably not allowed to listen to Skid Row when they're in their car.
No,
so
18 in life is not what you want, man. Scott, do you know the answer to the trivia question? In 1974, what school beat UCLA 71-70? I know you know this off the top of your head. To end the Bruins' NCAA record 88-game win streak, something that will never happen again in college basketball. What school beat them to end that record?
The Fighting Irish and Notre Dame.
Yep. And if we had to, we were going to go as far as saying it happened in South Bend, Indiana, but you didn't need that. And when it comes to knowledge of sports, Scott, you're full of it, I know. So thank you for calling in and getting that trivia question. By the way, I didn't even tell people it won. You won $2 million. No, you won a $25 gift card to Golden Corral. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you.
And I know you like to eat. I've seen you.
Love to eat.
All right. So we'll get that to you. And hang on for Hollywood. Actually, I can get that to him. So you don't need to use information unless do you need anything else from him, Hollywood?
That's it, buddy.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in. You got any questions for Jerry Allen, Brian North, or Ashley Moseley?
No, sir. Just go Wildcat.
Go Wildcats. Richlands man. All right. Thanks for calling.
Thank you, bud.
Take care, Scott.
They're struggling on the basketball court this year, it looks like.
They are. They're in that Coastal. Well, Coastal's got a couple great teams. Swansboro,
White Oak, and Croatan's having a great. And Croatan's having a great year. West's down a little bit.
I haven't seen Croatan yet this year.
Croatan is 14-1, I think.
Wow.
Johnny Helicopter Humphrey is their head coach, first year head coach.
We saw the teams in the Bob Mills Classic, the Onslow County tournament. Yeah. Of course, Croatan weren't there because they're not an Onslow County school.
All the Onslow County teams, Jacksonville, Northside, Richland, struggling basketball, Jerry.
Northside is. Jacksonville's okay.
That's what I think will be fine come playoff time.
Yeah.
Remember last year they picked it up at the end of the year and it really came on. Yeah. About the time WSME started broadcasting games. Yeah. So I think we're their good luck charm come playoff time.
But big game tonight, White Oak is at Croatan. So that's a huge game tonight. Boy, we're still trying to figure out how good Croatan is.
So it's at Croatan.
We're going to find out tonight.
So Croatan, have they really played anybody that you've seen?
They played, they beat New Bern. They beat a few teams that made you go, okay, they're not bad. We just don't know if they're White Oak good.
They picked up a guy from Jacksonville, Lifeite, transferred to Croatan, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then Swansboro's really good this year, and they're playing West Carteret tonight. So we're going to find out these next few weeks who. But that league is as bad as they are in football. It's really great in basketball.
Yeah, and the thing is, they play that league in football, and they got so many non-conference games they got to play because it's a 6-team league, and they're picking it up though. Coach Bird's got a good thing going. It's just
I shouldn't say they're bad. Dixon was better this year. Coach Bird, I like what he's doing at White Oak.
Coach Bird and Coach Bird.
Yeah,
Coach Bird at Richlands, I think, has got some good things going on. He's beat Southwest 2 years in a row, so they've already put up the statue under the scoreboard.
I was going to say you should put a statue of him right there.
And believe it or not, there were knuckleheads that want to get rid of him this year. But that happens everywhere. But
that happens when I was talking to my people.
They got a good coach there. They need to hang on to him.
These players like playing for him, I tell you.
Most of them did. A couple did not.
Well,
and that's what was causing some of the problems there. But that happens everywhere. It's not sports is tough, and you find out about your character, and you find out about adversity, and it's not always glamorous. And so that's what sports teaches you is how to handle adversity in life. And so they had some adversity. Some handled it well, some did not. But that's going to happen.
Now, Lejeune, are they still Coastal Plains 1A? Is it still called the Coastal Plains?
They're in there, yes.
Jones
Coastal Plains 1A, yes.
They look pretty decent in the tournament considering they're playing all bigger schools.
Yeah.
I can see on the 1A level where they could be
They do. They'll hit it on basketball every now and then because they don't have to have the numbers. You just get a couple of good players in 1A and you can compete. And that's kind of what happens with their transient staff in there. So I still remember Joseph Harris and how great he was back in the day and led them. He went and played Coastal Carolina, but led them deep into the playoffs one year.
They had another year where they went really deep too. And then you had that 1 year out of the blue in football. Was it 2013 or something? Schwartz was the coach, Daryl Schwartz.
Yeah.
They went to the Eastern Finals.
Yeah.
A lot of people, consider Lejeune the doormat of 1A football or any football. But, man, 1A Finals, there's no way of getting there without being a pretty good team.
Yeah. Didn't they win a state championship?
The Sinzo kid, they won a Division II, they called it.
Okay.
Back in the day in the 70s, it was basically the same as subdividing now.
Right.
So I would consider it a state championship.
Yep.
It was, you would only have like about 16 teams in it, and then the next 16 would be called Division II. Right. So they won that. So I would consider that a state title. Now the only other team left is Southwest and Onslow County. As far as the East Central, obviously Kinston is Kinston. They're not quite where they've been.
They're good, but they're 1A numbers now. Kinston's lost.
Well,
such
Southwest
their
is too,
population,
yeah.
But they've got some players now, including Terrence Copper's son, which is an interesting story. Terrence played in the NFL for 11, 12 years and came back to the area, opened up his own performance academy in the Winterville area. But his son Tyreek is just a sophomore and is got Saturday and Sunday ability on the football field, but he wasn't going to play basketball this year. And then all of a sudden he decided he wanted to. They let him back on the team a couple weeks into the season. And now all of a sudden he's become one of their stars there. But they've got some players there now.
Are they probably the favorite in the East Central?
Yeah, probably.
Southwest has got the stuff there. It just hadn't come together somehow.
Yeah. North Lenore and South Lenore are both down a little bit. They both have losing records. Kinston's been rolling. East Duplin and Wallace both have losing records. James Keenan and Southwest, I think they play tonight, right?
Play tonight, so come to the corral and spend money.
Yeah, we're going to find out who's going to be who can challenge Kinston in that league this year.
Are you behind the camera anywhere tonight, or is that not your? You don't do basketball.
I let the young Luke handle that now. Luke. I just try to pay attention as a fan from the outside.
He'll come to a game and you'll get the text. Text me the final score because you can't be at every game the whole game. I mean, it's just impossible. He's doing a good job.
We're getting there. I'm trying to get him out there and get to some of these places he hasn't been and learn the players and learn. It's tough. He's drinking water through a fire hose, but he's doing a good job. Basketball's been tough because football, we have a lot of crews out there. Yeah. Basketball, it's himself and maybe somebody else, but he's getting there. I finally got him to interview old Timmy Foster after they were about 0-12, but still, it's an awesome story. And there's so many cool stories around here. So
you go to a Northside game or during the I saw him during the holiday tournament, and you look at the Northside bench and you see Tim Foster and Eric Cleaver, and I'm like,
I saw Eric
what
there.
in the world is that? He's one of his assistants. Yeah.
I did. I noticed that when
have I stepped into another dimension? I
didn't know Eric was with him because I looked at the bench and go, "Oh, dang."
Has he been to Conato yet?
He is not. He is not. But we had to work on him at the beginning with Top Sale, and I can't even tell you how he pronounced Croatan. But
it's funny because it's not rich. It's not Richlands. It's Richlands, but it's not Top Sale. It's Top Sale. So
I tell every young person when they come to work at our station, your first instinct of how to pronounce something, it's going to be wrong. So don't even try. Just ask somebody before you even try it, because this has been a crazy area. When I moved here, I had to learn all these places and how to say things. It was never your first instinct. So
and it's not Wrightsville Beach. It's Wrightsville.
Wrightsville. Yeah, and there's a lot of vols around here. Yeah. I'll tell you my story about how I got corrected on Richlands. If you want to hear that story,
go ahead.
No, the red light came on.
We can do it. We got time before the break, real quick.
My second week here, I was cruising to a game between Wallace Rose Hill and Richlands football, and the station car I got was low on gas, but I thought I had enough. I got to Richlands, shot that game, I was heading back to Jones Senior, and I ran out of gas in the middle of Richlands Highway.
So nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere. I coasted into some guy's driveway, and I'm like, hey, I need to get some gas. And the guy was a real slow talker, and finally, after 10 minutes, he lets me get in his truck, and we go back, and he goes, around here we call it Richlands. And while I'm contemplating whether I can duck, tuck, and roll out of a car at 55 miles an hour, I go, that's how he started the whole story with, you ain't from around here, are you, boy?
You ain't around here, is you, boy?
I go, oh, no, sir, how could you tell? And that around here, we call it Richlands. So I'll never make that mistake again.
And then you knew.
I never made the mistake again.
So, and you were, in debt to the guy for some gas too. So
yes,
thank you, Mr. Helper there.
Yeah.
Canes have scored their second goal. We're going to take our second break. We'll be right back with the Hurricanes Watch here on Sports Talk.
God, I used to know.
Freedom 97.1 WSME. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing specializes in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting. In fact, they paint most anything except cars, including homes, businesses, apartment complexes, decks, and they do minor repairs, wood repairs, pressure washing, waterproofing, and more, including storm repair and cleanup. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing, fully licensed, insured, and locally owned and operated by Roger Carroll Jr. References available and customer satisfaction is always guaranteed. So if you want to painted, maintained, power washed, or need a new roof, call Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, and Power Washing at 910-939-0749 or visit southerntouchpaintingnc.com. Southern Touch Painting, Maintenance, Power Washing, and Roofing salutes our troops and is proud to be part of the continued growth of Onslow and surrounding counties.
Mohawk All Pet Protection and Warranty is the only carpet protection and warranty for all pets, all accidents, all the time. Because your pets are family members too. No matter how you live, we've got you covered. Soft, luxurious, smart strand, forever clean carpet. Gorgeous, durable, solid tech, luxury vinyl tile. Mohawk has the ultimate floor for every room in your home. It's suitable for all pets. For details, contact Watkins Floor Covering online at watkinsnewfloor.com. Watkins Floor Covering, thanking you for voting them the best of the best for 2022 in the flooring, covering, and carpet cleaning category. Watkins Floor Covering. They're more than just floors. It's custom showers, custom tubs, carpet cleaning, backsplashes, bathrooms, commercial, retail, and home flooring too. Watkins Floor Covering. Family owned and operated since 1997 with locations in Jacksonville and Surf City. Watkins Floor Covering. You stand on it, we stand behind it.
You found the one. Now it's time to find the perfect diamond. Buying a diamond is one of the most significant purchases most of us will ever make. Along with natural diamonds, Bradley's Jewelers offers lab-grown diamonds. Bradley's has partnered with the largest diamond grower in the world. What does that mean for you? You get the best selection, price, and quality. And you'll find a large inventory of wedding bands to complete your set. Bradley's Jewelers, 1122 Western Boulevard in front of Staples and Best Buy in Jacksonville.
Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local carrier indoor weather team, serving all of your heating and air conditioning needs since 1967. Now offers residential and commercial duct and dryer vent cleaning, and now offers expert residential and commercial plumbing service. In case of a power outage due to a storm or for any other reason, be prepared with a Generac generator for your home or business. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning has Generac generators in stock, ready to install today. Remember, better breathing comes with cleaner air. Let Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning improve the air quality in your home or business with professional air duct cleaning. As always, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning is available 24/7 for all your heating, cooling, and plumbing emergency needs. Turn to the carrier experts, Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning, with locations in Jacksonville and Hampstead. Visit online, humphreyheating.com. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Humphrey Heating and Air Conditioning since 1967. Relax, we're on the way. Welcome to Lincoln & Associates Family Dentistry, where we love to make you smile. Now proud to be working with Drs. Kim and Tommy Morgan, formerly Morgan Family Dentistry. The Jacksonville and Richlands Morgan offices of Lane & Associates Family Dentistry blends the latest technology with personal care and attention, so you have an amazing dental experience. The offices of Lane & Associates welcome all ages and accepts all major insurances, including military. Lane & Associates Family Dentistry has been serving the state of North Carolina for over 40 years, with 2 locations in Jacksonville, Richlands, and Maysville. Call for an appointment today at 877-LANE-DDS or online at lanedds.com. Welcome to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry.
It's Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Raynor. It is time for the Hurricanes watch. Hurricanes were kicking it last week when we had to watch. Had won 6 out of 7. I had just been to a game the night before where they kicked the crap out of the Anaheim Ducks 6-3, and went the next night, got some lucky tickets to see them play the Penguins. And as you know, Brian, if you're not a Hurricanes fan in East North Carolina, you're probably a Penguins fan if you like hockey. because they're everywhere.
That was the Hurricanes' greatest draw of their first 15 or so years.
Was when it was Penguins night.
Was when anybody else played.
True.
That had a lot of transplants down here. The Rangers, Islanders, Penguins, Red Wings. So many people come and move down here from those areas. That was the draw until they started building their own fan base.
You know, and I know a ton of people, even friends that I thought were just local that are Penguins fans because their dad was from up there or something like that. Yeah. Beth Leone, Penguins fan. Jerry Stevenson, the owner of Redneck Barbecue Lab up there. You know Jerry, don't you?
Yeah.
Used to play football around here. Yeah. Penguins fan.
And they were good in the 90s when a lot of people, jumped on that bandwagon too. And Jaromir Jagr. And so I can see it.
See, that's what we need you for is these difficult names. And I don't think we have any bad ones today. Looking at our this day of sports, but we'll get to that here shortly.
It's pronounced Jordan, Michael Jordan.
Jordan. So then after all that, so they had won basically 6 and 7 last week. So they were 7 out of 8. They beat the Penguins in overtime. Great game. Yep. It's always cool to win in overtime because it's the end is the last goal.
Yeah.
Then they lost to the Kings out of the blue on Monday, 5-2. I don't know where that came from.
Hall of Fame game, distracted by Justin Williams stuff. It's all afternoon game, which is out of their sync. So
if you ever have a celebration, you can just about count on being flat. So, I think it pumps the other team up a little bit too.
Yeah,
the weight and everything. So tonight they got the Detroit Red Wings 7 o'clock puck drop at PNC Arena, and then Sunday is the Minnesota Wild at 5 p.m. That'd be a great one to go to. 5 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon. We can get back and not have to be back at 2 in the morning on the coast. So the Canes are kicking it. Thank you to Downey's Heating and Air, Jason Humphrey for the Hurricanes Watch. They sponsor it every week. And go see a hockey game. You've been to several, I'm sure.
I haven't been.
Do you cover any of them?
I covered them in their 2 Stanley Cup runs.
Nice.
So, because you get all the highlights off TV because hockey's hard to shoot. But once you get the fan bases getting cranked up in those playoff runs, so I was there in 2002 when they made the run and lost to the Red Wings, and then I was there Game 7 when they won the whole thing.
Were you in press row for Game 7?
Yeah, but press row is way up in the nosebleeds. It's way above everybody.
Right, but it's the thing is, I'm giving some people a tip here. If you get in the nosebleeds on the center line, one side goes all the way up to row P.
Yeah.
The other one only goes to row J because press row behind it.
Yeah.
We found that little honey hole there. And I should have said anything because now everybody's going, there's tickets. But they're still the cheaper tickets.
Yeah.
But you're halfway down and your top row still with you.
Yeah.
Big boys like myself like to stand every now and then and get out of those seats. So I think you find that hard to believe.
Where does Carolina stand now in the standings?
In the standings, they're 3rd in the Metro.
Yep.
Here somewhere. 3rd in the Metro, but they're right. You just got to get in the playoffs now. As we saw in baseball this year, the top 4 teams in baseball had to bye. All 4 lost in their first round of playing.
You got to get hot at the right
time. You got to
time.
get hot at the right time.
No.
What? Come on, Jer.
I think
I've got to have some tickets before I'm giving away to some.
Hockey is one of those sports that you can try to watch it on TV, but until you go in person, you have to be there in person sport.
Is it different?
It's different.
It's like NASCAR. Really.
But I'll tell you what the Hurricanes have done a great job is, even if you don't understand hockey, they're in between whistle entertainment. If you like loud music and pyrotechnics, and there's always something going on in that arena. They do a great job in the game day experience. So even when and hockey's great to watch, you can see it so much better in person.
Yeah.
You can see the puck, you can see the movement, you can see all that. But it's like the NFL. As soon as the snap's done, they've got music playing. They just keep you engaged the whole time if you like high octane stuff. You like to be caffeinated.
Yes. You know what, to the walls action,
Yeah.
And once you get icing down and offsides, the rest is pretty easy. So those are not that hard once you really see the lines and know where it's at and everything.
And they don't fight like they used to, but people like to see
still every now and then they'll shiver some guy into the boards and you think he's paralyzed for life and he hops right back up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a rough sport. And, Brent Burns, one of the favorites for the Hurricanes that everybody likes. He don't even worry about fixing them teeth until he's done, Well, I fix them. They might get knocked out again. So it's just calling
Dentistry is the official.
They are of the Canes, So we might talk to them about seeing if we can get some tickets for me, you, and Hollywood to go to the game.
Sports guy, have at it.
I'll work on it. They are 3rd in the Metro. They got 53 points. It goes by a point system.
Yep.
If you win the game, you get 2 points. If you lose the game in overtime, you get 1 point. If you lose it outright before overtime, you get nothing.
Right. So if you go to overtime, you get a point.
You get a point anyway.
And if you win it, you get a second.
The full 2 points. And if you just win outright, you get 2 points. So the Rangers are leading at 58. The Flyers have 56. So that'll be a really good matchup coming up when they play the Flyers. And the Hurricanes are third in the Metro at 53. So they're right where they need to be, because even if they didn't finish in the top 3, there's 2 wild cards. And they're in very good shape to make the playoffs. Just make the playoffs and start winning games. That's what you got to do.
Well, they got plenty of time to do it because the season lasts how long? 8 months?
It lasts until tomorrow of next year. It seems like it goes year long.
Yeah.
We're actually going to do this day in sports when we come back. They've scored another goal. We do have Brian North today, Jerry Allen, the winner of the Prognosticators Pick Contest, and of course, the esteemed and honored Ashley Moseley as co-host. Thank you, Ashley. I wish you'd come every Friday.
On the next Goddard's Gold, it's a triple spotlight. Dee Sharp, Dusty Springfield, Nancy Sinatra. Big record seller. Songs like Mashed Potato Time, You Don't Have to Say You Love Me, Sugar Town, Ride, Wishing and Hoping, These Boots Are Made for Walking, Gravy, Look of Love, Jackson, Sharp, Springfield, Sinatra. Next Gold. Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Freedom 97.1 and 11:20 a.m. WSME.
In a season of falling temperatures and rising energy bills, your local Bryant professional is always ready, standing by to protect your home's comfort and defend you from uncomfortable temperatures and the higher energy bills associated with them. Ready to do whatever it takes for your home, your family, and you to be comfortable without breaking the bank. Because when the temperature falls, that's when your local Bryant professional turns up the heat efficiently.
Call Down East Heating and Air Conditioning at 346-4311 and let them keep you comfortable this winter. Down East Heating and Air Conditioning, serving our community for over 25 years. Also, Down East can help you with your home guttering needs. Call Down East today at 346-4311.
Bryant, whatever it takes.
Great Gas and Oil Company. And of course, Wismart and Chappie's Chicken, located at 4111 Gum Branch Road, right here in Jacksonville. And 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert, has all you need when it comes to convenience for gas, cold beverages, and a great selection for quick pickup essentials. Enjoy fresh, not frozen, delicious meals at Chappie's Chicken, located inside Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert. So if you're in a hurry, get it all. Gas, ice-cold beverages, convenience store items, and delicious, fresh, not frozen, Chappie's Chicken at Wismart, 4111 Gum Branch Road, Jacksonville, and 633 Sandridge Road, Hubert.
Hello, everyone. This is Bill Mercer thanking each one of you that have chosen Bartley Insurance Services for your Medicare needs. We are so appreciative of the great response and your trust in our great staff. We've been here since 1983 and take pride in providing the local flavor that those 1-800 folks just can't match with the very same products. Please call Bartley Insurance Services at 910-346-2170 or come by our office on Henderson Drive to discuss life, health, disability, long and short-term care today. Here's wishing you all a happy and healthy 2024. Thank you.
Don't break a heart or your bank account this Valentine's Day. Be sure to make it a Barnes Diamond Gallery gift for the love in your life. You see, you always get a sweetheart of a deal at Barnes Diamond Gallery. Family owned and operated since 1982. You are guaranteed to find the perfect diamond, emerald, ruby, or sapphire. Barnes Diamond Gallery also has a great selection of earrings, watches, bracelets, necklaces, rings, and pendants that will make that special person happy this Valentine's Day. Barnes Diamond Gallery custom designs jewelry and pays top prices for gold, sterling silver jewelry, sterling flatware, and diamonds. Make that special person feel extra special with a gift from Barnes Diamond Gallery, 461 Western Boulevard, Suite 120, right here in Jacksonville. Family owned and operated since 1982.
Since the 1930s, people have trusted the local law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick for personal injury, family law representation, and traffic offenses. That's over 90 years serving the legal needs of people throughout Onslow County, which makes the law offices of John Drew Warlick your hometown law firm. So when you need the services of an attorney, and at some point most people will, the law offices of Attorney John Drew Warlick is here for you. For an appointment, phone 910-455-7700 or visit their location, 313 New Bridge Street, right here in downtown Jacksonville.
It's Sports Talk on Freedom 97.1 WSME.
Hey, welcome back to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Chris Raynor. We have Brian North as our guest today. Special guest, obviously, Jerry Allen winning the Prognosticator's Pick Trophy for the year. Great job, Jerry, making those picks. And, of course, co-host Ashley Moseley. And we're going to dive right into this day in sports. We're going to roll through it because we got a couple topics to talk about before we go. We might be here till – what time you got to leave? Tomorrow sometime?
Yeah, when I'm off.
You're off, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll be here for a while then, it looks like.
Bring a sleeping bag. We'll camp out.
All right, we'll just go this way around the table. I'll go first. Ashley says second, and so on and so forth. That would be counterclockwise. Okay. This day in sports, January 19th. In 1934, Major League Baseball Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis. Wow, what a name.
Renowned racist, by the way.
Kennesaw Mountain Landis denies Joe Jackson's appeal for reinstatement into baseball. Jackson was banned after the 1919 Black Sox World Series.
Yeah. Well, you talking about some names. You said we didn't have some hard names. Listen to this one. 1937, Cy Young, Trish Speaker, and Nat Lahore. Lahore were elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't know whether it's Lahore or LaJoy.
We'll go with that.
LaJoy.
It was Trish and Nat that were elected to the Hall of Fame.
1952, NFL purchases struggling football franchise New York Yanks from owner Ted Collins, moves club to Dallas, Texas.
God, I get
eventually became what?
I guess the Cowboys.
The Cowboys, I assume. They were the Dallas Texans for a while, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. 1969, 19th NFL Pro Bowl, LA Memorial Coliseum. The West beats the East 10-7. Why do we care? Roman Gabriel was the MVP. Wilmington boy. Yep. He was the Rams quarterback at the time. And Merlin Olsen, who I met once, was the Rams defensive tackle, also named
What
MVP.
other than broadcasting and football, what other two gigs did Merlin Olsen have?
He was an actor on something.
Yeah, Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
And he was the flower guy for years on that
Father something on Little House on the Prairie. Father Murphy?
No, he was his buddy Jonathan Garvey was Mr. Ingalls' best friend, Jonathan Garvey,
well,
big farmer.
Jonathan Garvey. Okay.
And then he was he had the flower thing for years, the MTD delivered flowers thing or whatever.
Yep.
So he had
super nice man. Super nice guy.
And then, of course, Roman Gabriel, like you said, from Wilmington, was New Hanover, right?
Yeah.
And then who was the other one? Was it Sonny Jurgensen or?
Sonny was from Wilmington as well, yeah. And then
you
went
would
to
picture out of those two, one of them possibly would have been a number one draft pick.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about Mario Williams being the first ever from North Carolina, but you're talking about some horsepower there with Roman Gabriel.
Yep.
All right, 1971, the 24th NHL All-Star Game, Boston Garden. The Western Division beats the Eastern Division 2-1. It's not like the basketball or All-Star Game where it's 197 to 196. Yeah. The MVP was Bobby Hull from Chicago.
Well, it used to be the NBA All-Star Game was competitive. Then
it did.
It used to be competitive.
And even that was a trivia question. Read that one in full.
Okay. 1974, Notre Dame beats UCLA 71-70 in South Bend, Indiana to end UCLA's NCAA record 88-game basketball win streak.
And that was our trivia question. Congratulations to Scott Skid Row, former Onslow County Sheriff's Deputy Extraordinaire and Major and whatever he was over there, Captain. Richlands guy. Has kids playing at Richlands now, so congratulations to him on winning that $25 Golden Corral gift card.
Right.
1989, U.S. President Ronald Reagan pardons New York Yankees owner George Steinbrenner for supplying illegal funds for Nixon's re-election campaign.
Interesting.
Illegal funds.
Illegal funding.
Counterfeit money.
Just more than he was supposed to allow to donate.
I got
you. 2000, man named Michael Jordan led the Bulls to their sixth NBA champions as a player, returns to the NBA for the Washington Wizards. Fun fact on this one. So Michael Jordan used to host his own golf tournament up in Greenville for the Ronald McDonald House. Did a great job, brought in all these celebrities.
But you saw a bunch of celebrities those days.
I can tell you, I got a bunch of stories about that. But for Michael Jordan, he was at the podium, and I asked him right before this, I said, last time you said you were 99.91% sure that you were not going to come back. I said, is that still that 1% out there? And he said, yep, still that 1%. Then a few months later, he came back and played for the Wizards.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Do they have that
No, man.
No. It was when he went back to when he became part owner of the Wizards, and then started playing. He stopped that tournament.
So it didn't have anything to do with people not running it right or something.
He loved that event. He got all his buddies together from all sorts of sports, and they would gamble into the all hours.
I wonder
of
if
the
now that
morning.
he's retired, there might be some way of resurrecting it. Eastern North Carolina person knew him well and could reach out to him.
He is so involved in so many things in his life between motor racing and fishing, and he's got so many things he's involved in. It's just amazing how far his athletic footprint spreads.
I did get a text. You were correct about the Father Murphy thing. That was a spinoff show afterwards from Little House. So he was on both.
Okay.
So they had another thing. Thank you, Brian Bailey, for being on point with that, because so you were right on that also. Now my voice to texting is activated, and we've got the whole show on voice to text. All right. The last one in 2013, Lance Armstrong admitted to doping in all 7 of his Tour de France victories. That's unfortunate, too, because such a dominant athlete in the sport,
great.
and then you admit that, you cheated, basically.
I loved it. One of my most nervous moments was interviewing Lance at a live event when he won the Tour de Pont at Massanutten in Virginia in 1993. I got to interview Lance.
You weren't doing it on a bicycle beside him.
No, but I was trying to get him, and he can be a little surly at times, even then he was like 22, 23 years old, but trying to get him after he just won that stage and interview him. But somebody took a bunch of pictures, and I still have that somewhere. But that was kind of one of those cool moments.
You probably got pictures with a ton of celebrities over the years. And that was, some of it was before selfies with
I was doing
cell
selfies before selfies were
What,
cool.
with Polaroid?
Yeah, just disposable camera was my thing. Just stick it out there and hope you got it.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
Put it in. So
hope you got it aimed right.
Yeah, just about everybody on this list, I've got some sort of story about.
Wow.
But,
Well, if you still got contact with them, line them up. We'd like to have them on Sports Talk. I mean, they will pale in comparison to having you on here.
Lance,
but we'd love to have
Lance is persona non grata now. Nobody really wants him around anymore.
Kind of like the Andy Griffith of. They said he was not one that was very approachable in his later years.
He was tough. Yeah. Andy was a music teacher at Goldsboro High School, by the way.
Yeah. Went on to Carolina and
well, it's how we got his job out at the Roanoke Island Theater, and that got him into the acting stuff. Yeah.
What was it called? Lost Colony.
Lost Colony.
Do they still do that?
Yeah, they do.
I ain't been up that way in ages. I'd like to go see that one more
That
time.
was a big pandemic thing that they shut it down for one summer, and that stopped their consecutive string of all their summer appearances.
You remember the one they used to have out at Cape Carteret area called Worthy's the Lamb? Yep. You ever seen that one?
I didn't see that one.
My parents went to it a lot of times with church groups. Different groups would go, and they'd always pile in with them. They said every night they went, they released this white dove in one scene in a spotlight. And it was a hawk that every night would pick him off if the spotlight stayed on him long enough. So that hawk knew that every night, about 8:23, I got a snack.
I got food coming. And then they had one out in Kenansville. They had the, I forget the name of it, but it was called the Table Cart or something.
Yeah.
But for many years, they had the outdoor theater out at Kenansville, which I stopped by there. The whole amphitheater's still there, but it's all grown up now.
That's a shame.
It's crazy.
Like a little concert venue out of it or something.
That along with the Kenansville Auditorium, where Dolly Parton once played. We talked about her earlier. And they used to host all the basketball tournaments out there.
I remember that.
It's just a storage place now. It's just so sad that those two historic venues are just kind of forgotten.
Yeah, for years they had those big tournaments there. It was a great venue, right? We do want to do a couple things before we jump into our last couple of topics. First of all, reintroduce everybody. Brian North, thank you for being with us today as our guest. Jerry Allen, thank you for being with us today too. And of course, Ashley Moseley, our co-host. Thank you guys. And behind the scenes, he's always there when we need him. Chris Hollywood, man, he's about to tease our game tonight for us.
I am?
You are.
Oh, okay.
Because you do it so well.
Oh, thank you.
He's getting ready to go to radio voice. Watch this.
I don't have a radio voice, buddy.
You do
I just talk like this.
Okay, go ahead.
So tonight, 7:30, we are covering the high school basketball game, the Cardinals, of course. All the local Onslow County games and the home games for the Cardinals. So tonight, it's a home game. Southwest is coming, right? South Central.
Yeah.
I get confused. You got the Southwest gear on.
They're coming all the way from Los Angeles, man. Get it right. South Central's coming.
That's right. But 7:15, it's pregame tonight with Bob Warlick and Joey Mahajik doing the coverage. And 7:15 is pregame. 7:30 is tip-off, right? And that happens tonight. So
Jerry will be working the game. What are you doing, Jerry?
I keep the score.
Okay.
If you can, do me a favor and surprise them boys and bring them a little Chappie's chicken. Yeah. Jerry and Bob and Joey. I don't think they've tried it before.
I hook up the team.
Wait, is Bob Warlick related to Tony Warlick? Anybody remember Tony Warlick, the basketball player? Tony was Tony was the Steph Curry of the area before Steph Curry was. That cat could shoot from about 35 feet.
And get the shot off inside a phone booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He went to, was it Craven Community College first? And then he went to Mount Olive after that. But man, that cat could shoot. Tony Warlick, I always remember that when I first moved here. Yeah.
Boy, that went on to East Carolina and played football. Jose
Warlick?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah.
He was a man-child.
Who?
I don't know.
Oh, God, I'll think of it in a minute. But yeah.
In the ball?
No, he was a football player.
Okay.
See, I don't,
Yeah, he played on those teams in the late '90s at ECU. Yep, he was really.
See, I don't see how you keep up with half the names you do, man. Dealing with all the, and it's not just like us where we're here in Onslow County. You got every county from
15
here
counties.
to,
Yeah.
What's the farthest south you go? Maybe Pender or just us?
Well, we get into Pender a little bit, but
Mostly when we're playing.
Dixon's about as far south as we regularly go, but go to Windsor and Bertie County, and we're over to Rocky Mount, Wilson, and Goldsboro, and we have 15 counties.
I don't know what you do
that we
with
technically
Farm Waters. I've seen you at the game.
Well,
That cameraman run across the field.
I wouldn't. I grew up in a dairy farm, and it's not dairy farming. So, but it was a passion for a long time.
It did my heart good to see you go home one time about 5 years ago or so, maybe longer, but a little bit longer. And he posted a picture on Facebook of him at the dairy farm out there working everything, and he's got the Southwest back-to-back T-shirt on. And it did my heart good. You out spreading the Stallions in the Midwest.
And after covering games like that, you had to get back to the studio to do the blitz.
That's the crazy part. It's covering the games is one thing. Getting back there to the station, getting everything edited, written, get the names right, the scores right. That's when I've always said, we should do Facebook Lives on that stuff because that's when the crazy stuff happens. And there might have been a hole in a wall every now and then, or some cuss words yelled every now and then, because it's crazy time pressure stuff. But it's addictive. It's definitely the time pressures of TV are crazy.
Well, our off-air reporter Brian Bailey is called. I'll text it again. The Liberty Card is what it was called.
Liberty Card. That's it. Yes,
County. He's a Duplin County
Liberty Card, and it went on for a long time. And it's like, I'm telling you, I don't know if you're supposed to or not, but you walk in there behind the Kenansville Auditorium, and trees are growing up everywhere. There's vines, but there's these old plastic seats. Actually, if you're a Facebook person, I stopped in there in December, and so I posted it, so you can go see the video of what it looks like now and pictures of it.
It'd be cool to get that resurrected somehow. All right, let's jump into got a couple of topics. One is the hot topic really everywhere. And it's not just college football, but college athletics, but especially football. It seems like basketball's not as rampant right now, but college football is just, you got kids not playing in bowl games. You got NIL. You got
the difference is college football, you have to be there 3 years before you can go pro. So with the NBA, one and done. Yeah. So we've been kind of used to the one and done thing for a while, but now that you have to stay in college to keep playing football, if you want to go pro, you're there longer. So there's more people who are trying to transfer and find that magic way to get to the NFL.
What do you think is the fix? Just maybe go back to where you have to sit out a year if you transfer?
Yeah, the genie's out of the bottle. Transfer rules are tough. I always say, if you're a normal student, you get to transfer without any penalty, right? Except maybe some of your credits don't transfer. So why should we be penalizing athletes when coaches are allowed to move all the time?
I agree. If a coach leaves, you should be able to go right away. But just because you get there and you're not getting playing time, I don't know.
It's a two-way street on this because there's arguments for both ways on these things. But I just don't think you can restrict people's choices at this point in their lives. I think not paying them money when they can get money. I'm with that. Now, it opens up a whole new Pandora's box of the problems that come with it. Same thing with transferring. Look, I would love for people to stay 4 years. I'm a loyalist. I grew up in the same house for 18 years. I've been here 25 years. I don't have a desire to go anywhere else because I'm always a be where your feet are person. And just because things aren't perfect doesn't mean you can't get through adversity in life. And so, and that's what sports taught me. Now, having said that, it's still good to have freedom of choice, and you should not be restricted and told not to go, even though being told not to go sometimes. You tell me, Jared, did you ever want to leave Mount Olive when you were there?
No.
So some people, they're there and that's where they want to be. But in this AAU culture of everybody just kind of comes and goes where they are or what they want to do, it's harder and harder. But I can't sit there and tell you as a human being that you should be denied where you want to go to school and what you want to do. But it's just hard as a fan because for the fans, you want continuity. You want to be able to rely on those same people that were there year in and year out. Legends are born of loyalty. Think about who your favorite athletes were. They usually weren't a one and done guy. It was somebody who was there and created a career and a legacy somewhere.
How about the one kid? I don't know if you've seen it. He's preparing to enter his ninth year. Who is that?
I saw the tight end at Miami.
And how is that possible?
COVID year.
Got that.
And a bunch of
red couple red shirts.
And it's got to be medical red shirts.
Even with 2 red shirts and COVID, you're talking about 7.
Yeah.
So he's entering his 9th year. He's going to be playing this year.
You can be granted unlimited medical red shirts.
I didn't know that.
I got a question about this. transfer portal.
Yeah.
How do they handle their scholarships when it comes to that?
Yeah. Well, as soon as you enter the portal, you have forfeited your scholarship for the next semester.
Wow, I didn't know that either.
Yes. So that's the danger of entering the portal, because now, and this is what we talk about with life, and you should be allowed to do these things. You have to know the risk of going into the portal. There's 1,500 guys that go into the portal. About a third of them find a home, a scholarship at the next place.
So they're gambling by going there.
A lot of them are. A lot of people are overestimating their abilities and the people who want them.
Now, as I understand it now, even high school players can be compensated for name, image.
A lot of states are going through the whole NIL thing, yeah. And again, legally, how do you deny somebody from making money? How do you deny somebody from you? This was my biggest problem with amateur sports all those years, was how can you deny people the opportunity to make money? If somebody wants to pay you for something and it's legal and you pay taxes
Well,
on
if you
it.
got an outstanding high school football player, for example, let's just say he plays for Jacksonville, and you got a big car dealer or some guy that got a lot of money from Greenville, and say, I'm going to give this guy $10,000 to come play football at Greenville Rose.
Technically, I'm going to give you $10,000 to put your likeness with me, and it's like advertising, right? I can't pay you to play football. Technically, we all know it's happening, but technically, as the car dealership says, you be a spokesman for us. Here's $10,000, and have fun at ECU, which is our place. Which normally they've already committed to that place, but it's this weird hand in hand thing. With money comes problems, but I don't know how you can deny somebody those things. But at the same time, it opens up a whole other Pandora's box of, we talk about, Jerry, you're young, you struggle. Sometimes being poor teaches you a lot of things in life. And sometimes not having these things offered to you teaches you a lot of things in life. And so to not have that ability, when people start handing you money, I'll tell you right now, there's a kid at New Bern Middle School, a 7th grader. His name is A.J. Scott. He's already dunking two-handed, 7th grader. Now,
you did that in 7th grade.
His dad, Antoine Scott, played at Wake Forest, never played in the NBA, but played Dennis Rodman's friend. He went to North Korea with him. But his son is a 7th grader, already dunking two hands in 7th grade. There's going to be people who are going to start offering him money soon. And I told Antoine.
To go to high schools or college?
Just to be associated with him.
I mean, like to try and shoot. You know how there's high school players transferring now. Say if they're living somewhere else and they're not.
Yeah, there will be money offered to him to make sure he stays at New Bern High School, or to go to private schools. Private schools are even worse. There'll be schools from all over the nation that will start, envelopes will start showing up for him they'll want him to go to
basically a boarding school.
Right. Yeah. So this kid's personal life of growing up is going to be over, right? As an 8th grader, he's already going to be highly recruited. He's going to have everybody all over him. But now he doesn't get to live the normal life of an 8th grader.
Right.
So it's a two-way street. It's tough, man. But you can't deny. I just don't. Yeah. Denying people the opportunity to make a living for them and their family is tough. As long as rules are followed, laws are followed, and the tax man gets his cut.
And I always thought it was tough to just say we can't pay college players. And there's got to be a way to regulate it, but these colleges are making millions of dollars off these games.
Correct.
And the players, living back in the old days, living like paupers, eating macaroni and cheese for supper.
So what should have been done a long time ago, but will never happen because the greedy don't want to give up their money. Who's that? College presidents and athletic directors and anybody who's associated with these things. They've never wanted to give up the money. Do you want to give up your paycheck to somebody? Right.
I give it to my wife.
Yeah, exactly. And that, and you hate doing that, right? Yeah. So now let's say your wife's sister wants to come in and get some of that money too.
I think she gives some to her too.
Could be. And so it goes on, right? No one wants to give up that money. Exactly. But what should have been done a long time ago, television contracts should have been divvied up and a percentage should have been given to the players because they're the faces that are out there. They're the actual workers, but that's never going to happen because too many people are making too much money. That's why they've allowed the NIL. So they can combat that while they still keep their television money. So where does it go? I mean, I don't know. I think eventually you'll see colleges just start employing their players. I don't think they'll be students anymore. Yeah. I think they'll just hire them on as university employees.
Professionalism. That's what it'll be.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in the day, Carolina had won their national title with Michael Jordan as a freshman. The next year, they were okay, but the year after they came in number one in the country, gonna be everything. They did an article on in Sports Illustrated on Perkins and Jordan, and it showed their dorm room.
Yeah.
And you're talking about old school.
Yeah.
They lived in a dorm room where their feet probably hung over the end of the bed. Yeah. That's how much it's changed over the years. College athletics now, them guys are living, they got the training tables. And
Sam Perkins grew up not far from me.
Latham, New York?
Latham, New York, which is basically not the place you want to break down.
Are you impressed I remember that?
Yeah. That is very good because most people say Albany. But yeah, Latham is Shaker Heights. Was where he went to high school. And that was not a very nice place to be. So for Sam Perkins, that was high cotton living right there. Now, when he went to Chapel Hill and was treated like a king. And so one of the things college does, it gives you a growth period of time to mature among your peers. And we've kind of taken that away with athletics a little bit. We now separate the athletes from the students in a lot of places. And so you take away that college experience. But I love to see the stories where these athletes get to be just college kids for a while, go to the college parties, go to the college functions. That's part of the growing up process that we're starting to lose when we go to all this professionalism.
It's like after Luke May hit the big shot against Kentucky, they say next day on campus, he was walking around just big man on campus. Like
he was in his 8 a.m. class.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in his 8 a.m. class.
Oh, and I love the story of the dude that the quarterback that asked for the extension on his thing because they were playing in some game. And I love the professor's reply. He said, you have linemen in the class that made their paper turn in on time. You're the quarterback, no extension. That was awesome. And that's what you're talking about being a college kid.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about Sam Perkins. They say that your height is the same as your wingspan. If you measure it, it's very close. Yeah. Sam Perkins was 6'9" and had a wingspan of, 7'6" or something?
It was ridiculous.
Because his arms were just...
my first memories of a child watching the local news was of highlights of Sam Perkins just doing ungodly things to much smaller people on the high school basketball court.
And he, that was, in my opinion, I think that was the golden era of college sports. I grew up in that area where you didn't have 87 channels to watch every game every night. You listen to games on the radio. You remember listening to Wolfpack games and Carolina games.
Yeah, Saturday
and
afternoon.
that's how you remember that he was from Latham, New York, because you hear Woody Durham say it every game. 6'9" sophomore from Latham, New York, Shaker Heights High School, Jimmy Black from Queens, New York, and you remember stuff like that. And nowadays, everything's on TV. Most times you're not even paying attention to what they're saying as it goes along.
I always say that I still, to this day, will love to listen to games on the radio.
Oh, I
when I'm
love
driving.
it. You get so much more information from the game. Yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
And that's why people listen to Sports Talk.
You ever had Jones Angel? Jones Angel been on Sports Talk?
No, and do you have a way to contact him? If you could contact him, have him call me, I'd love to try and get him on because he's a North Jacksonville guy.
Go through his parents, yeah.
I don't know. What's his mom's name? It's not Ann, is it? Mom Angel?
Mrs. Angel, yeah.
Okay, I'll work on that. But Jones, would be great. And while we're talking about it, I really hated to hear about Montrose. That was terrible. I mean, 2?
Something like that.
Died with cancer, and I don't even remember hearing that he had it.
54, 54. I mean, we knew he had it in the spring, but we figured just like everybody else, he'd have no problem beating it. And, had a beautiful family, met him a couple times through Jones Angel, as a matter of fact, and was always the nicest guy. I mean, I probably talked with him a dozen times in my life. Always nice. You know how some people have bad days, they're in a hurry, don't want to talk to you. Never Eric Montross. Always such a nice man.
Now they got Tyler Zeller filling in, at least for now. We met him a couple of times. He was at some of those Tar Heel Town things. He's another great guy. I mean, just some of those guys are really cool to be around, and some of them, like you talked about with the old boy with the Lance Armstrong, or just do not want to be bothered.
Yeah. I found most of those athletes. People always ask me, a Carolina fan, State fan. I always liked people. Yeah. So and you'd go and you'd interview these guys, and some would be great and some would not. And that's kind of, you rooted for people. I always rooted for people more than I did for schools, but North Carolina's had a lot of great guys that were fun to interview, and State's had many as well. And Duke, always loved talking with Coach Krzyzewski.
Yeah.
He would give you these. It was horrible for TV because he wouldn't give you your 8-second soundbite that you wanted. He'd pontificate and give you this 3-minute answer that was great, but not good for your local sportscast. So, he
wasn't going to be sitting there going, practice. Talk about practice. That type of stuff. I know what you're saying.
Let's say practice. Yeah, what are you talking about?
What you got there, Ashley? I know you had a couple of questions,
Well,
topics
talking
you want
about
to cover.
football, it's still the most wonderful time of the year, even though it's getting short. College football's over with. We got the playoffs in the NFL going on right now. So, any thoughts on that? I mean,
all the things we were talking about earlier too. I think the thing that really magnified it this year was the number of opt-outs in college football.
Yeah.
It just made the bowl games to where like Florida State just getting shelled because they got their JV team playing.
Yeah. Well, so your playoff expansion is going to help that because kids are still going to want to play in playoffs, the games that matter. They just don't feel like bowl games matter unless it's a playoff. So expanding to 12 is going to help that. Florida State would not have those guys opt out if they were in the playoffs.
You think any advertising money pulled back because these guys are opting out will make a difference? I mean, who wants to sponsor if you're not putting your best product on the football field?
Someone once told me the Gator Weed Eater Johnny Ray Kinsey bowl game still does better ratings than a Duke Carolina game, right? So basketball game. So there's still a draw there. Yeah, it's nationally. And so there's still a draw there. But the bowl system's changing with the playoffs. And so we are seeing that change a little bit. And I'm not saying that won't happen with the opt-outs. Wow. It's an ever-changing landscape. The only consistent thing in life is change. And so when we talk about all these traditions only last so long and they change, right? So same thing with football. So bowl games will still be there because there's still money there. There's still an incentive for those who don't make the playoffs. But it may not be as good advertising money in the past. But television is changing, right? Everything's going to streaming now. And so we'll start dealing with those advertising dollars. And so we'll have to see.
You got me on my soapbox here now, real quick. I know I'm not going to go long on this, but I remember the day the big game was coming on, Monday Night Football. I go to the TV, boom, and I'm there. Yep. Now I go, remote 1, remote 2, streaming. You move to this, you find that. Buffering. Oh, that was bad. Buffering. Glitch, streaming.
So this goes back.
The more the technology's got better, the worse it is to watch.
Remember what you just said? Remember games weren't on TV all the time?
Yeah.
So the flip side of that is every game is now on TV. So you can find it if you have the technology. So it's great that you can see your team whenever they play now. It's just getting harder and harder to find where that actually is, or you have to purchase the service. But that's where we become spoiled. We never even worried about it in the past. If your team was on TV once or twice a year, that was phenomenal. Now everything's broadcast somewhere in low quality, but it's out there for you.
Well, looking at you touched on Duke and Carolina. Looking at the rankings right now, Carolina is 4th in the country.
Yep.
Duke is 7th.
Yeah.
And they both in the next 4 games have potential to run the table in those 4 games. They probably should, to set up possibly a top 5 matchup by then for Duke Carolina. Which there was years where they were 1 and 2 playing each other, but that hadn't happened in a while. Where they've been top 5 the last few years.
And we talked about the hardcore fan bases will be pumped by that, but for Carolina, there's a lot of familiar faces back. I mean, Baycott's been there forever, and
he's 9 years now.
Yeah, something like that. You talk about.
He's still there.
Yes.
Yep.
Still missing inside
making
shots.
more money at Carolina because of NIL. Yeah. See, this is the one good thing about NIL. A guy like that will stay longer because he's never going to make money. Like he won't be an NBA player.
No.
So he'll be, but
he'll be a role player. And
he'll make more money at Carolina than he will.
How long can he play there?
Well, this is his last year, but he had the COVID year, so that he had 5 years. So, and RJ Davis is having a great year once they worked out all their romantic issues with other players.
Have they figured out yet if they start failing classes that they can stay there forever?
But that's the one good thing about NIL we're seeing now with some people that will stay at the higher institutions a little bit longer. We're also seeing the bad part of it. We're seeing guys constantly transfer to go get more NIL money. You're already at a great university. And we saw that Notre Dame's picked off 2 ACC quarterbacks the last 2 years because they have more money to throw at a quarterback than anybody else. So, but the positive side of NIL is Carolina's keeping guys around who are good players that fans get to embrace.
Jerry, don't you wish they had NIL back when you were playing?
Jerry had been making a lot of pickle money there at Mount Olive.
Pickles, yeah.
Now, you know how I thought about this when we were talking about the pickles at Mount Olive. You know how you'll go to a high school game now and that was the Briggs Tire Service home run of the game. If everybody got caught in a pickle, what that is, of course. You know, you get caught running between the bases, and that's the Mount Olive pickle of the game or something.
No, they sell pickles. They sell pickles all over there. You see people munching on big pickles.
Got pickle juicers you can get that are like an energy drink. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, we're gonna do the pro picks. You want to do those this week?
That's fine.
Our experts right here. All right, Texans at Ravens. Who you got, Brian?
Ravens. Well rested veteran team, and Texans are a young team, so I'll take the Ravens at home.
Who you got, Jerry?
Ravens.
You got Ashley.
Ravens.
You want to get in on this, Hollywood? Okay.
Lamar Jackson.
I'm going with the Texans.
Yeah.
I'm going outside the box for the Texans.
They've had a lot of injuries now, though, in the running back position.
And they've always
and the
fought.
Texans played last week, and that sometimes that bye week will hurt you.
I think the Ravens have only won one playoff game, haven't they?
It's been a while.
Lamar Jackson's only won one playoff game as quarterback because he went like the first 3 or 4 he played, and that was the knock on him is to get the playoffs and not win.
I'm going with the Texans. I'm changing my pick. I'm going with the Texans.
All right. The other bye from last week was the 49ers. You got the Packers at the 49ers.
Same deal. Experienced team that's rested now. Christian McCaffrey's going to be back. So give me the 49ers.
I am so glad that David Tepper got rid of him because we did not need those 3 touchdowns and 150 yards rushing.
Steve Wilkes is their defensive coordinator. Glad he got rid of him too, right?
Wilkes, in my opinion, should have got that job last year. Did you think that?
Yeah, now he's got a 49ers defense playing really well.
I'm picking the Texans.
Well, I'm putting it right here.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Jerry?
49ers.
Niners.
And they have Sam Darnold as their backup too.
True. It's like the Washington Redskins were the Carolina Panthers of the
Sam Darnold, the backup
triangle.
where?
San Francisco.
Is it?
Yeah.
Do you still slip and call them the Redskins every now and then?
Oh, yeah.
How about who was it, Romo that called them on national TV the other night? Called them the Redskins, and it almost like was indignant. You could tell they were in his ear telling it's Commanders. He said, "Oh yeah, Commanders." So
when you talk about their history, you're supposed to call them. Can you call them the Redskins if you're talking about their history?
I don't know. I would think so. He may have been doing that. And I accidentally called them the Commodores over here one day, and somebody said, "Who's Lionel Richie, the quarterback?" And then I've heard the Commandos. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything. All right, Ashley.
49ers.
I'm going Packers.
Young team, they're hot.
Yep, and they're on a roll. I think they're going to. So I think the bye is going to hurt both of those teams that laid out last week. All right, Bucks at Lions.
It's got Detroit. I just can't see Baker Mayfield going in there and throwing for 337 again and 3 touchdowns.
Another one that could play at Carolina, but is somehow working elsewhere.
All these playoff teams, just about all of them, have some sort of Carolina influence on them.
If the Bears were there, DJ Moore, look what he's done since he was paroled from Charlotte. All right, Jerry.
Detroit.
Kid Rock.
Yeah, Detroit. I'll go with the Lions too. All right, Chiefs at Bills. That's going to be a Donnybrook right there, buddy.
Yeah.
I don't know if the weather's going to be I don't know if this thing lists the game day conditions or what it is now. I would think it would be game day conditions. It says 20 degrees and partly cloudy.
The Bills have had the Chiefs number, haven't they?
No.
No.
But this one's at Buffalo, though.
Playoffs, the Chiefs.
Mahomes' first away playoff game or something.
Because every time the Bills have lost him before, it's been at
Kansas City.
Kansas City at Arrowhead. So I'm going to go mine. We'll do a reverse order this time, too, so it's not the same one having to pick first. I'm going with the Bills. Jerry? No, I'm sorry, Ashley.
I'm going with the Bills. They're playing in Buffalo, aren't they?
Yep.
Playing in Buffalo.
Buffalo against the Chiefs, yeah.
Be minus 20 degrees.
Which Kansas City just played in.
But yes, they did.
And the Bills did too, though.
I'm going to go with my cousin.
The Bills.
Sean McDermott, former Panthers defensive coordinator, Bills head coach. Linval Joseph, ECU guy, defensive tackle for the Bills.
There's somebody on the Chiefs from a local flair.
Cornell Powell, but he's been practice squad. They have not let him play this year, which I can't figure out because the Chiefs has had so many injuries at wide receiver.
Yeah.
And I don't know why Cornell can't break that. But just because of the problems they've had at their skill positions, I'm going with Buffalo. I think with
that quarterback,
the quarterback has got to win this game. This is his like career defining moment. He's got to win some of these games. Josh Allen, and which may create too much pressure on him. I don't know. Look, it's going to surprise.
On this, you got anything we can give away for this?
American Dream Cakes gift
American Dream
certificate.
Cakes, $25 gift certificate for the winner who gets these right.
We'll do that.
I'll pick the same one.
No, we're just doing it for this week, these 4 right here. Because next week's only going to be 2 games.
That's right. The next week going to be 1.
Just between us
And
4
then
then,
we're gonna
right?
get down to the
Okay.
Super
I'll
Bowl.
call you and get your picks for the last
We'll
2. We'll
get it
have
right.
the 2 games next week and then the Super Bowl. So that'll be the
throw in
7th.
a Chappie's chicken thing. They throw Chappie's chicken. Brian's never had it. Brian, when you get some Chappie's
Yeah,
chicken.
no, you spice it up with Chappie's chicken.
Fresh,
All right, here's gonna be
delicious.
I can't. When we get to the Super Bowl, whoever two teams it is, the tiebreaker will be the total number of points in that game. We won't say it now because obviously you don't know who's going to be in it. But yeah, I like that. We'll do that starting after high school's over next year. All right, what else you got there? I know you had a couple of other things.
I'm good, man. I mean, I want to give a shout out. I want to give a shout out again to Need It Now Trophies and Plaques and Gum Branch Road. I think it's Meredith Brown, and if you go in there and meet Emily, I'm not going to embarrass her.
I'm going to get me a trophy.
But she is that accent she's got. Hollywood and I were there the other day. We could sit there for 30 minutes just listen to her talk.
That East Tennessee?
She's from East Tennessee.
Like
you know, it's entertaining, and they're good folks, and we appreciate them. Putting the trophy together for our winner, Jerry Allen.
And once again, all hail the king of the pickers.
Yeah.
All hail.
I told my wife about it, and she said, "You're gonna bring home another trophy." She got a big old trophy room where all my trophies.
Yeah. So that's a
she
nice
cleared
one.
out a spot for this right in the middle.
Well, good.
Let me see that trophy.
Congratulations,
Let me put it
buddy.
closer to the camera.
And again, one reason we wanted to do this is simply because the guys that are involved in are ex-athletes, played sports and everything, and Raynor, it's a lot of work, as you well know, Brian.
It is, and
keeping up
I'm
with
so
this stuff.
taxed with my retirement. I've got things. I have to find something to do. I have loved retirement. I still want you to take me though to a Panthers game one time. I'll be the flunky that carries everything.
No, it's not the experience it used to be. We used to be able to get on the field, film the games. The NFL limits us.
Tepper's
now.
ruined everything, hasn't he?
Well, it was before him, but it's not. They really limit what local media can do now at those games. So we don't even go that much anymore unless we have some sort of local connection coming from another place to play. So, but it's tough. You basically sit in the press box and watch. It's just like watching on the big screen TV.
Well, we're talking about Tepper and Jerry Jones. Here's the Jerry Jones part of it. Then I'm going to get the Tepper before we leave. The Dallas Cowboys cycle, this is the meme you've seen.
Yeah.
Season starts, then it goes to the next arrow to beat up on bad teams. Next arrow around the circle, fans get delusional. Next arrow, we them boys, this is our year. Next arrow, choking the playoffs. And then it starts over the next year.
Are they going to keep that coach?
Yep, they already said so.
Okay.
Jerry doesn't fire coaches now. He keeps
does?
coaches around a while.
Tepper, on the other hand, will go through 2 a year sometimes.
He's on number 6 or 7. He's about to hire number 7.
Yeah.
If you include the.
Have you heard who the front runner is?
No, none of the big names have all said they don't want a rebuild project, so they've been interviewing a lot
And
of
they don't want to be with
coordinators.
Tepper.
How about the Commanders? Rivera's not there anymore either. Is he?
No,
They fired him?
They
Redskins
let him
got
go.
rid of him.
New ownership group, so they wanted
Oh,
to start
okay.
fresh. And Ron will be fine. He'll land on his feet somewhere, probably as a coordinator for a while. But for the Panthers, they're just interviewing a lot of different coordinators, and we'll see. But yeah, it's nobody. Tepper's getting a reputation now, but if he's going to pay a whole lot of money and then has to fulfill that contract,
That's
like
true.
Frank
You
Reich's
can
getting.
double dip.
What do you
I would
think?
get it put in the contract, though, that you can still make money elsewhere and still get that money.
Where do you think Bill Belichick will end up at?
Falcons got a second interview, and he's got
No chance at Carolina?
no. Yeah, it's too much of a rebuild there,
Yeah.
and so.
Surprised he didn't go to Dallas. I figured he was going to Dallas.
Well, they say that when Jerry turned during that shot and turned and looked at his people, they said, get Bill on the line. And apparently Bill turned it down at that time, so he went back to
Coaches
stay
are
with McCarthy.
dubious of going to work with Jerry Jones, though, I was thinking.
So what does Bill need? Only about 15 games or something?
14 to take over
Number
Don
one,
Shula.
yeah,
You can win in the NFC South. He just has to find a quarterback in Atlanta.
Has he passed George Hallis for a second yet?
I'd have to.
It's right there
look and
at
see.
it.
He's
I
at
know.
330.
Yeah, I'm sure he has because back, didn't play as many games.
Well, Hallis was at 318,
So yeah, he's at 333. So he's
Okay.
he's there then. But Atlanta's loaded with talent. They just got to find a quarterback or develop Ritter, one of the two. And you can win in the NFC South because no one else is very good. So
9-7 wins at most years. Now, is Tepper the main problem in Carolina?
right now he is, yeah. But guess what? He owns the team.
Well, flashback. but
He can do what he wants. He can do what he wants.
So you would think eventually, if he wants to be a winning owner, he would realize I need to hire a guy to be my guy to make these decisions, not me. So you go to the draft last year, and everybody knows what it was. He wanted Bryce Young. His general manager and coach wanted C.J. Stroud. Now, not saying he would have done better in Carolina because they got other issues.
Correct.
But looking at the product, what they both did, they were both right. If you look at what the results, he was wrong, and so he fires them for being right. That's an egomaniac, buddy.
Because he's the boss.
Exactly.
The boss is never wrong.
Well, flashback to 2020. And everybody says now they don't have the tools to go with a good quarterback. Back in 2020, they did. DJ Moore, McCaffrey, defense was loaded. Everything they had, Gano, who's another one they traded off and flourished elsewhere.
Yeah.
Why at that point did he not spend that money and go get one of those staffers or Goffs that were switching around? That's all they needed at that point was the trigger man.
The funny thing is he came from the Steelers where he was a part owner. And they're the least meddling owners in the NFL. They've had 3 head coaches in the last 50 years.
But he weren't the one making that decision then.
Correct. Yeah. And he is always, he wants to play with his toy. He's Daniel Snyder. He's Jerry Jones. George Steinbrenner. Think of all the meddling owners who wanted to be way too involved. When did George Steinbrenner finally win? When he got suspended and couldn't do anything anymore. They built the farm system, right?
Yeah.
When did Dan Snyder ever win? Yeah. Okay. When did Jerry Jones win?
Was one of the titles was under Jones, right? Early on when he first took over, right?
Jerry Jones won 3 Super Bowls.
The last Super Bowls were him, but then since then it's been
and fired some good coaches.
So, when owners finally let their people that they hire do their job, Jerry still holds his own press conference after games.
Yeah. As an owner, you should be out of that. That's just my opinion. I know he's the owner, but he should be hire a guy to make those moves for him.
Again,
I'm sure he probably knows that, doesn't he?
No.
You know what Jerry knows he does? He makes money hand over fist with that franchise now. And he's a part of it. He's part of that circus.
Merchandising alone.
Right.
Yeah.
Super Bowls are great, but no, it's all about being relevant and being part of that entertainment.
What he paid $180 million for the team, I back 88, 89 like that, and I think it's been valued of what, over $1 billion.
It's definitely more. It's probably closer to $7 billion. They're probably the number one rated franchise in professional sports.
Good investment.
Even Daniel Snyder. I mean,
now which coaches won his Super Bowls? Was it? I know it was guy from Oklahoma.
Barry Switzer won the last one.
Did he win just one?
Yeah.
And Jimmy Johnson won the first two. So they weren't 3 in a row. It wasn't a three-peat.
3 out of 4. Yeah.
Okay.
Jimmy won 2, got fired, Switzer came in.
Yeah.
Then won the next one.
And Hollywood's wife, one of her clients is Emmett Smith.
Wow. Get him on the show, baby.
She's a financial planner. She's based in Atlanta, but she works from home. Yeah, Emmett Smith is one of her clients.
Yeah, Coastal North Carolina will set him up with a fishing charter.
To tell Emmett's wife, Pat Southall, that I said hi. Pat and I used to go to college together.
Hey, Pat.
Right now, if we can't get
I don't know if she deals. I think she probably deals with.
somebody.
She'll get the message, Hollywood.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And if we can't get Emmett Smith, we'll get her other client, Herschel Walker.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
wow.
Pat Southall and I had classes together my freshman year. Got to know her a little bit. Then she ended up being runner-up in Miss America.
Oh, wow.
Married Martin, the comedian. Had some kids.
Oh, really?
That marriage did not work out. There was, you could look that up on the Google. And then she ended up with Emmett. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, you mentioned Herschel Walker. We did the reverse Herschel Walker. The Panthers did.
Yeah.
Remember Minnesota traded for Herschel Walker and gave up all the tools that Dallas won their Super Bowl with. We did the opposite. We trade our guy away, get all the tools, and they win it. He wins at the other place.
Yeah.
So we did the reverse Herschel.
It's been bad. That's why no one wants the job right now, because they mortgaged all those draft picks. How do you rebuild when you don't have draft picks?
The worst team in the league, you don't have the number 1 draft pick. Interesting. We good to go?
one more time we'll mention tonight.
Mention that, and then I'll hit our spot.
The official station of the Jacksonville Cardinals basketball tonight at the Jacksonville High School. South Central from Winterville coming down. And 7:30 is game time. 7:15 is pregame. The voice of the Cardinals, Jerry Allen, will be keeping the score. He's got the poker face over there. No matter what happens, he's got the straight face. He's just serious.
He's reading the catcher's signs right now, trying to figure out if he wants to shake them off.
Two to the left.
Yeah, that's right. He's just got a serious face. But it'll be a lot of fun tonight. So check it out at 97.1 and online wherever you may be, WSME971.com. That's it.
The girls' game will probably be a good game tonight, too, if you want to watch that.
Oh, they're on a roll, aren't they?
Yeah, our girls are pretty decent.
Oh, they do good this year.
Okay.
I like to see them in Southwest play. They're both probably the best 2 teams in the county. That would be a good game. We tried to line it up, but somehow it didn't work out with the schedule or something. All right, Sports Talk is powered by Barnes Diamond Gallery, National Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Wismart, Chappie's Chicken, and Great Gas and Oil. Bayshore Animal Hospital, Golden Corral, the loss of John Drew Warlick, Bartley Insurance Services, Bill Mercer, Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, of course, the official dentist of the Carolina Hurricanes, Humphrey Heating and Air, Jones Onzo EMC, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative, and, of course, Southern Touch Painting. Thank you to all those fine sponsors.
Appreciate it.
And thanks once again to Helen's Kitchen. We got Billy Bowls to jump into here.
Yeah, they're getting cold.
Thank you for doing those. And the Hurricanes Watch is powered by Downey's Heating and Air. Thank you, Jason Humphrey and the boys, for doing that. Of course, you know how to get us on YouTube, Facebook, and, of course, on the radio at WSME. We'll see you next week.
He's bad. He's bold. He's brainless. Rick Dees.
You know you gotta have love, ooh, and you gotta have peace. For in the morning time, ooh, you gotta have Rick Dees. Yeah, yeah.
Welcome to the Pocket Confession.